Narcissists spend their whole life testing people, trying to destabilize you to see if they can get reactions out of you. It's those reactions that confirm to them that they do have control over you, that they can control your thoughts, emotions, and even behaviors. It always seems that there's something that's a little bit unsettled with them, that there's an elephant in the room. Maybe they make you think you've done something wrong, but you don't know what. Or maybe they outright blame you for something that you didn't do just to see if they can get you on the defensive. Oh, and they really love this reactive abuse phenomena where they push you until you react. And once you do react, they use your reaction as proof of your own instability, that you've lost your own bearings, and they try to prove a point that they're the stable one while you're the one that's unhinged. This isn't just with romantic partners, but it's rather with most everybody that's in their life, because narcissists, they like to place people in certain boxes, and they like to know which people are the ones they have the most control over and which people are the ones they have the least control over. Which ones are easy manipulated, gullible, and which ones are not. But of course, it's their romantic partner that usually receives the biggest amount of these tests, the biggest amount of these projections, the biggest amount of these destabilizing attempts. And you always feel that either you don't know where things stand between you two, or maybe you feel like you've done something wrong, but you don't know what. Or maybe you feel like you're being unfairly blamed for something which you didn't do. And of course, all of that just causes confusion. But once you know that you're dealing with a manipulator, once you know that you're dealing with somebody who has to live under the skin of their prey in order to feel in control of themselves, then you realize that knowledge, that knowing, is just a pass for you just to let it all go. That's the key. You let it all go. You no longer wonder where you stand with them. You no longer try to defend yourself. If they say or do the most obscure things that just don't sit with you, just let it go. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. You let it go. And just realize all of that is a reflection of them and not you. And when you do that, and when you know and come to realize that you've been dealing with somebody who's not healthy, who has this predatorial nature to get under the skin of their prey, just to shake them up and cause that person to lose their bearings until they collapse, then you know you don't owe them anything. You don't owe them any satisfaction. You don't owe them any justification. And any instability, any sense of friction that you get just by the thought of them, any kind of dissonance, confusion, you just let it go. And no matter what they do to try to get a reaction out of you, and the biggest thing that you'll see with narcissists is the way they try to smear you. Narcissists love to smear people. They love to make you look bad in front of your peers. They love to make you look bad in front of those who are closest to you, to see if they can get you to go on the defensive, to see if they can get you to try to take satisfaction out with them, to see if they can get you to respond. With narcissists, the best reaction is your silence. With narcissists, the best reaction is just to let them go. Let all their jabs go on your way, just kind of pass right through you. Don't give them any satisfaction. Don't ask them for any explanation. Don't show any anger that they're being unfair, in particular when they're trying to smear your name in front of other people. And if you think other people are buying into their narrative, just let that be as well. People have a tendency to be able to see through narcissists, especially people who are mature adults, because they can see somebody who's bullshitting and is just trying to make somebody else look bad. And if they can't, you're not the one who's going to change their mind. And sometimes you do have to accept that some people might believe they're narcissists but maybe those aren't the kind of people you want in your life anyway. And when you do that, what you see is in the narcissist is their own instability. Your silence, when you stonewall the narcissist when they're trying so bad to get under your skin, what you witness is somebody who all of a sudden feels a total lack of control over themselves. The things they do, the things they say, the way they try to get your attention, when you show them silence, when you show them indifference, it really shows you who you're dealing with. It really shows you the nature of the person who really doesn't have a sense of grounding. Narcissists depend so much on your reactions to feel okay with themselves. They feel so much. They depend so much on needing to feel that they somehow still control you, that when you prove to them that none of that's the case, not through making any point, but just by not being on their radar, not giving any response, and just doing your own thing, it immediately shows them and proves to them and gives them that uneasy feeling that you are somehow better than them, that you are somehow more in control than them, that you are somehow more progressed. And that's very hard for them to accept. Narcissists really struggle to accept when they can't have impact on you, especially if they deemed and considered from the beginning that you were somebody who was gullible. Because what narcissists really hate is when they judge somebody and their judgment came out to be wrong. Because obviously, narcissists don't go about trying to control everybody, because most people are not controllable. Most people have a healthy sense of self. Most people have healthy boundaries, and most people won't entertain them. But let's say maybe 15, 20, 25% of the population, 1, 2 out of 10 people, the narcissist might think, well, those people tend to have more of a gullible nature. Those people tend to have more of this kind of people-pleasing aspect, lower boundaries. And the narcissist, when they judge somebody as someone that they think they can easily control, they really expect to see that through. And if the narcissist targeted you, if the narcissist is trying to get reactions out of you, it's because they judged that you were somebody that they could easily control. And when they realize that they cannot control you, when they realize that they can't put you into that box that they need you to be in to feel good about themselves, they feel extremely uneasy. And uneasy is a very subtle way of putting it. Some of them kind of turn into this loose cannon where they just go a bit berserk, and other ones just kind of go into hermit mode, just trying to work out what can they do to feel good about themselves again. And a lot of times that means they have to find somebody else they can control. But it really is this unease, this unsettled feeling they get when they deem somebody as being easy to control, when they deem somebody as being inferior to them. But then that person, that same person that they deemed easy to control and inferior to them, all of a sudden is off their radar, isn't giving them reactions, is not responding to their prompts at stabilization. And what you really find is the narcissists trying to keep themselves together from suffering some kind of collapse. And a lot of times they either try to up their game and try harder to get under your skin. But of course, sometimes they just accept defeat, cut their losses, and try to focus their attention on someone else, who this time they'll try to judge even more carefully to make sure that the new person they're going to try to control, the new person they're going to try to predate upon, they're going to really try to make sure that they succeed and don't fall into another trap where they lose control of the other person and therefore lose control of themselves.